Have you ever been caught off guard when someone insults you in front of a crowd? Your heart starts racing, your face burns, every part of you wants to fight back. But then you notice the person next to you heard the exact same insult and didn't even flinch. Same words, same situation, two completely different reactions. So what do they know that you don't? Here's the truth: therapists have been teaching a little-known psychological technique to deal with toxic people, and it changes everything. It's not about being tough or pretending you don't care. It's about understanding how conflict really works and realizing that most of us have been playing this game completely wrong. In this video, I'll show you why people try to provoke you, reveal the hidden pattern behind every toxic interaction, and at the end, I'll share the exact method that makes you emotionally untouchable. Before you can master calm, you need to understand what's really happening when someone comes at you. Here's what most people never realize about conflict. It's rarely about winning, it's about feeding. Think back to the last time someone pushed your buttons. Maybe it was a sarcastic comment, a backhanded compliment, or a dig at something you deeply care about. In an instant, your pulse quickened, your chest tightened, and your brain flooded with that irresistible urge to respond, to correct them, to prove your point. That reaction isn't random. Neuroscientists at Stanford University found that social rejection and verbal attacks activate the same brain regions associated with physical pain. Your body literally interprets criticism as danger, and that's exactly what toxic people count on. Because here's the truth: they don't attack you because they hate you. They do it because they're starving for something they can't generate themselves: emotional energy, validation, a fleeting sense of control. Every time you take the bait, you feed that hunger. Every sharp reply, every defensive explanation, every minute spent justifying yourself becomes fuel. You think you're standing up for yourself, but in reality, you're giving them exactly what they came for: your energy, your attention, your peace of mind. Like that coworker who raises his voice in meetings just to get a rise out of you until one day you stay silent. He freezes. The game ends because without your reaction, there's nothing left to play. That's why they keep throwing the same bait: a late-night text, a snide joke, a loaded question. They're not looking for answers, they're looking for sparks. Then something fascinating happens. You meet someone who doesn't take the bait. The same insult that makes others explode barely touches them. It's as if the words dissolve in the air before reaching their mind. They sit calmly, even in a room thick with passive aggression, breathing easily while everyone else tightens up. They're not blind to the toxicity. They're simply choosing not to join the game. That's their quiet power. They understand a simple truth: you can't win a game you refuse to play. But if reacting only fuels the fire, why do we keep reacting anyway? Because most of us were taught that silence means surrender, that if we don't defend ourselves, we look weak. Yet as you'll soon see, that belief couldn't be further from the truth. We've been taught that if you don't defend yourself, people will take advantage of you. That staying silent means surrender, and letting an insult pass means you agree with it. So what do? We explain, we argue, we try to make them understand. But here's the problem: you can't reason with someone who's emotionally invested in misunderstanding you. Think about it. How many times have you sacrificed your peace just to prove you were right? And when the dust settled, did you really win anything? In heated moments, logic disappears. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that when our emotions spike, the brain's amygdala hijacks rational thought, flooding us with adrenaline and narrowing our focus. In that state, no one's listening to reason. They're feeding off emotion. The more you justify yourself, the more power you hand over. Every explanation is another thread they can pull. Every defense, another opening for attack. You think you're standing your ground, but in reality, you're handing them the map to your weak spots. And the people who provoke you most, they're usually the ones who know you best. They know exactly which words sting, which subjects make you tense, which tone will throw you off balance. It's the ex who sends a vague text just to keep you overthinking. It's the family member who brings up your failures under the disguise of concern. These people aren't arguing with logic. They're fishing with emotion, casting out hooks made of guilt, doubt, and pride. And when you bite, they feel powerful again. So what's the alternative? How do you protect yourself without turning cold or shutting people out completely? The answer is what psychologists call strategic detachment. You become strategically uninteresting. Most people misunderstand this idea. They think detachment means building walls, cutting people off, or pretending not to care. But that's just another emotional reaction dressed in armor. Real strength isn't about how loudly you respond or how dramatically you walk away. It's about how little someone's chaos can move you. Think of it like Wi-Fi. If they can't connect to you, they can't drain your energy. Picture this: someone throws an insult your way, expecting to see that familiar spark in your eyes, waiting for the argument to begin. But instead of defending yourself or firing back, you stay calm and neutral. You might simply say "interesting perspective" or "I hear you." Sometimes even a quiet "okay" is enough. In that moment, something powerful happens. You deny them the emotional charge they were seeking. You don't attack back so they can't play the victim. You don't justify yourself so they have nothing to argue against. You remain present but unreactive, visible yet completely unmoved. That's where real control begins. This isn't about being passive, it's about being intentional with your energy. Because when you stop feeding toxic patterns, they eventually starve. The person who once got a reaction out of you with just one comment suddenly has to work harder. So they push more, escalate their tone, and try to provoke a bigger response. But when even that fails, something shifts. They lose interest. They move on to someone else who will give them the emotional drama they crave. That's the beauty of restraint. You win without fighting. When you stop reacting to sarcasm, criticism, or provocation, you reclaim your peace. You don't need to defend or explain yourself. You simply refuse to play a game that was never meant for you to win. But how do you actually pull this off when every part of you wants to react, when your emotions are screaming for release? That's where the real method comes in. Therapists often teach this to clients who deal with narcissists, manipulators, or anyone who feeds on emotional chaos. It's called the gray rock method, simple in theory but incredibly powerful in practice. The idea is this: you make yourself as emotionally uninteresting and unresponsive as a gray rock. No highs, no lows, no sparks, just calm, steady neutrality. When someone tries to provoke you, you respond with minimal emotion and minimal information. Keep your tone even, your answers short, and your energy grounded. Don't give explanations they can twist or defenses they can use against you. If they say, "Why are you always like this?" you simply respond, "I don't know." Don't you have anything to say? Not really. You're just going to ignore me. I'm listening. I just don't have much to add. You're not being rude or dismissive. You're just refusing to play their game. And that's the beauty of it. When there's no reaction to feed on, no emotional reward to collect, the entire dynamic changes. Their chaos loses power the moment you stop giving it oxygen. There's one crucial detail most people overlook. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about choosing where to invest them. You're allowed to feel everything: the anger, the frustration, the disappointment. But you don't have to perform those emotions for someone who will only twist them into weapons. Real strength isn't about how quickly you can fire back. It's about having the power to stay still. Save your emotional depth for the people who've earned it. Save your vulnerability for relationships that truly respect it. Save your explanations for those who genuinely want to understand. Everyone else, they get the gray rock. When you master this, something profound shifts inside you. People may still talk, still throw their little jabs, still try to provoke you, but something strange happens. You stop feeling it. Their words lose weight. Their chaos fades into the background. For the first time, you can actually breathe. That coworker who used to ruin your entire day with one careless comment, now they're just noise. That family member who always knew exactly how to get under your skin. They're still trying, but nothing's happening because you finally realized their opinion of you is not your emergency. Their craving for drama is not your responsibility. Their inability to control their emotions is not yours to fix. This is what true peace looks like, not the absence of conflict, but the quiet power of choice. True peace isn't the absence of conflict, it's the presence of choice. You decide what gets to affect you. You decide what deserves your energy. You decide who earns access to your inner world, and in that awareness lies your greatest power. Because the most powerful reaction is no reaction. Here's the twist: no one expects when you become unbothered, you become unstoppable. The person who can't be baited into drama, who can't be manipulated through emotion, who refuses to waste energy on meaningless battles, that person holds an unfair advantage in life. While others drain themselves arguing, defending, and trying to prove their worth, you're focused on what actually matters. While they're stuck in endless loops of reaction, you're quietly building something real. That's the ultimate power move, not fighting harder, but refusing to fight at all. You become like the gray rock, steady, grounded, untouched. In your stillness, you discover a strength no argument could ever give you. When you stop playing, the game ends. Their problem isn't you, it's that you stopped feeding them. So next time someone tries to drag you into chaos, remember this. You don't owe anyone a reaction. Stay calm, stay solid, be the gray rock. And if this message resonates with you, subscribe, make calm your default. Because the one who can't be triggered can't be controlled.